Hi, this is Cheryl back with you from Farmhouse Frugally. So our dump is open 3 days a week, and everybody goes over and over and over because you can take whatever you want from the good table. And so a number of people do what I do and flip these items. This particular week, my husband brought home this cute crate, this two-door I think nightstand that I'm going to take the barn board that we have and replace the top since that's not real wood. These two hat boxes that are absolutely adorable I will remove from their stands. The wine rack is going back to the dump, not a fan. The table, I will remove the tray, keep the tray, get rid of the legs. Old cutting board I may use as a wall hanging of some sort. I already had him take the tabletop back and just kept the base of this table because I have a different tabletop that is not warped. And he brought home a number of florals. Some I sent back and some I will keep for their forms. This is brand new, this swag, so I kept that. I can use that in my own decor. And then the wreaths I will probably use at some later date to remake them right over again. This antique mirror, oh my word, I absolutely love it. He brought home a couple more of these little ugly hanging things that I love to paint and distress and turn into risers. Two of those wooden post pumpkins somebody made that need to be cleaned and painted. A little tray of some sort that needs to be cleaned, painted, and added something to. This little two-door, smaller cabinet, I guess you'd say. A gorgeous antique ladder, and look at that handle in the middle. I just love that. Not sure what I'm going to do with it. This little tin I actually picked up this week for $3.50 at a store. I was getting rid of a truckload of stuff to sell at the consignment shop. Went around and only picked up this, just this one item for myself, and I have an idea of what I'm going to do with that. These are very contemporary, not something typically that I would take, but I have a great idea for Christmas. One of those lanterns. This stuff goes right in the sink. It is getting cleaned if it's going to be in my house. Otherwise, it has to stay out in the garage until I have a chance to clean it. An exercise ball sitting on the floor waiting to be cleaned. I think my favorite find would be this bed. Oh my goodness, I have so many ideas for signs and for wreath holders. Look at those acorn finials. Those are gorgeous. I am so delighted. And a teacher friend gave my husband these stamps to give to me, knowing I would love them. And he brought home this beautiful white pitcher, also on the good table at the dump. Wow, I just can't even. I cleaned it up immediately and put it on display in my kitchen. I love, love, love that piece. Goes with my collection. Also got one of these library card catalog holders, which was just dirty. Scrubbed it up real good and displayed it on my desk. A lot of this stuff will go to the consignment shop for sale. And then 2 weeks ago, I think it was, he brought home this black cat. Now, not my thing, but I happened to be painting the angel at the same time, so I had some blue paint left over, so I decided to go ahead and paint him, and why not make him a blue cat. So once he was fully dried, I did wet distress so that a little bit of the black would show through. And then I took some of the Waverly Antiquing wax, and with a stiff wax brush, I just went ahead to get all of that detail. I went down into the crevices and then took a paper towel and just wiped back the wax so that it would just go into the crevices here and there. Since I had just made my angel, I put him at her feet, so he looks so cute there. But his place to stay is in my foyer because that area is just the perfect color for him, and he looks cute where he is. So I'm happy with that. And then that same week, he brought home this twig wreath, which if you had seen my green Christmas video, you've already seen the wreath that I made out of that wreath form. Now, the mirror, as I said, I absolutely am in love with. I cleaned it up and put it on display. in my dining room in the corner where I had some harvest things still set up, but obviously it will be gorgeous for Christmas and any other season. And then the bedpan. I got the bedpan from the dump and it had a massive chip or two in it, but although I don't intend on using this as a bedpan, I do like it as a planter. So I took some air dry clay and just went ahead and put that into the space and took a little water to mold it, but I do know they often fall out, so have to be glued in. Took a little gray and a little creamy white upside down and painted over that once it was dry to kind of match it. But I did want to cover that with a more shiny glue substance, one to hold it on and two to give it more of a shine so that you cannot tell that it is chipped or broken. And here it is with some of Hobby Lobby's wonderful greens in it. And I think it came out absolutely lovely. Now on to the most challenging project ever. When he brought it earlier in the week, I almost had him take it back. It was so filthy, but I really did not want it to go into the landfill. It has such potential. So I left it outside, got on the mask, got on the gloves, got the cleaner, and scrubbed all the nasty mouse crap off of it. And it was, ugh. But once that was all done, cleaned it really good, and then took out my sander and sanded the top, and the top came out so incredible as I thought it would. I tackled the wallpaper on the sides and on the door interior. The inside of it was actually pretty clean. Then I brought it into the house once it was able to be scrubbed thoroughly. Once that was completely clean and dry, I wanted to turn my attention to polyurethaning the top before I decided on a paint color. So the top of that did need 4 or 5 coats of poly, and I did go ahead and sand that final, right before the final coat, so it would be nice and smooth. And I typically use Minwax when I do that, and that not only did that seal it in case it ends up in a bathroom, but it just looks so beautiful. Earlier in the summer, somebody had dropped these 5 samples at the dump on the good table, and I went and painted a piece of cardboard so I could see what actual colors they were, because I wanted to use part of this Brocante stamp transfer from IOD, and particularly the white rose, and I wanted to match the center of the rose if I could. In the end, I decided to take my wall color, which is a muslin, and add it to number 4, which had a touch of the yellow in it, but was a little too dark, and came up with a color that wasn't really that much different, more of a buttercream, and gave that a good coat of paint. And then at the end, ended up giving it a second coat inside and outside. I still need to do the interior door now that it's drying. My husband reattached the hardware. He scrubbed oil for me, and here is the top. Oh my goodness, love, love. And here it is without the transfer. It has to take a week to cure, but I love it just as it is. I think it came out so beautiful. I would love to know what you think. I would love it if you would share this with a friend, and stay tuned. Pretty soon you will see another item that goes with this, and the transfers done on this piece. So thanks for stopping by. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.